Hi, I'm Grant Gothing with Bloomy, and today I'm going to be showing you our compact UTS and our full-size UTS. So our compact UTS is a low-cost mixed-signal functional test system. It's USB-based, and inside it has an NI OEM DAC and DMM, some fixed power supplies, and a custom Bloomy built switch matrix. And so what it allows us to do is bring those connections up to a Virginia panel I1 connector, and that allows us to test a pretty wide range of products from the prototyping through the low volume manufacturing phase. And we do this using our UTS Software Suite, where we can select a part number, and I'll pull one down here. This is going. It will identify the ITA and allow us to start running our test. And so as we do this, it'll pull up the trace execution, allowing us to see the steps go through the test. And what we're testing is just our TED demo board, which allows us to test analog inputs and outputs, digital inputs and outputs, power supply connections. We use this a lot of times for demo purposes or for training people on our software suite. So our software suite is basically two components. There is a user interface that hooks into TestStand, and then under the hood there is a hardware abstraction layer that we call the hardware access framework. And this allows us to configure our test steps much more easily without having to dive deep into LabVIEW. And by doing this, we actually pull our configuration parameters out into a Microsoft Excel file. By doing that, it allows us to write our test code independent of test hardware. So there's a lot of hardware differences between this compact UTS and the full-size UTS over here. However, by pulling that hardware access framework connections out into a file, we can run the exact same test sequence on both of these systems with different hardware, only changing that Excel file. So what this allows you to do is you can prototype your test sequence using the low-cost compact UTS, and once you get into a higher scale production, you may need more test points or you may need faster test times. You can transition over to the full-size UTS. And what this does is, like I said, we now have a bed of nails fixture, which allows us to test the same board with less operator interactions. So the operator can place the board in, close the lid, and as I mentioned, it's running the exact same test. So we'll choose the same part number. It'll load up the test and allow us to run. So the benefit here, like I said, is that you can transition from low volume manufacturing to higher volume manufacturing without losing all of the development time that you put into your initial test development. So we'll continue on here. Furthermore, by using a full-size UTS, which is PXI-based, it has PXI DMM, data acquisition cards, digital I/O, and switch matrices, you can expand your test coverage a lot more. So rather than having operators pushing buttons and checking LEDs, we can do that in an automated fashion using LED checkers, push button pneumatics. And by using bed of nails, you have a higher test coverage, because instead of connecting just through the outside connectors, you're able to get test coverage through pogo pins on the bottom. And so instead of just knowing, there's a problem between the input and the output, you can test intermediate points along the way to get a better test coverage and more fully understand any issues that may come up during manufacturing. So thank you for watching our video. For more information, go to bloomy.com, and there's a whole page on functional test, both from the compact UTS to the full-size UTS to some best practices for test development.